Welcome back. Well, students are back in school trying to put their new habits into place to keep themselves on track. So we thought now would be a good time to discuss good habits for small business. Who needs tax tips during tax season? We want to talk now about doing those things that will help all of you cash in at tax time and year-round. So to help us out, we invited back Ann McCabe-Triana to share her expertise. She's a certified financial planner and wealth advisor with years of experience helping small businesses and now a new title, President and CEO of Curo Private Wealth, headquartered in Northern Virginia. Ann, welcome back. Congratulations on the new company. So you're going to be one of the small businesses following your own advice, but you brought several important tips that any small business needs to follow. And the first one is one that we all need to follow, but especially small businesses: keep good records.
Right.
You call it the 5 fruits and vegetables a day for small businesses. Talk about that.
Well, it's the advice that we all know. We've all heard it 1,000 times, but not none of us, but some of us don't consistently do it, right? We know we're supposed to keep good records.
I don't. I'm the worst at telling. I'm the last person in the building to turn in my expense reports. But luckily I work for a large enough company that they can kind of absorb me messing up the fiscal year.
Right.
Small businesses can't afford that.
Absolutely not. And the most important thing here is if you're audited, right? If you're audited as a small business owner, you need to be able to show receipts and records for every single deduction that you're taking, be it big or small. So get a system in place. There's lots of scanners on the market now. There's great software tools. It doesn't matter what you use in most cases. Just get a system in place and consistently do it, or outsource it. If you don't have the time, energy, or expertise, pay somebody to do it.
Well, you set it up perfectly for number 2. Have a not just a good, but a great CPA. I have a dear friend who is a brilliant small businessman. He is so good at sales and ideas. He's lousy at record keeping. He's the first one to admit it, but he does have a team. He's got his accountants. He's got people in his office. You say delegate if that's not your strength.
Right, and it's incredibly important not only to have a CPA period, but to have somebody who acts as a consultant, right? A CPA is not someone who should go into TurboTax and put the information in the system that you could do by yourself. A good CPA, in addition to a good financial advisor, a good attorney, this is your team of consultants, of business advisors that are not only looking at what happened in the past quarter, but most importantly, what's the next quarter look like? By November, you should really know what your tax bill is going to look like in April, and have conversations with your CPA about expenses that you know are coming up next year. Does it make sense to accelerate them into this year to maximize your deduction and minimize your tax exposure?
I think it's like the doctor's office. You're reluctant to take up too much of their time and to delve into, okay, we got this problem solved from last month. Dare I delve into next month? You say delve into next year.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, that's why you're hiring a CPA. So when you're going to interview people, set the expectations, and if the CPA doesn't want to give you that much time, they're probably not the right consultant for you.
But you also say in that, avoid common audit traps. There's not things that you should wait for your CPA to teach you. There's some basic things that you should know yourself. What are those, just quickly?
Right, so there's some red flags. Number 1 is miscategorizing employees. So if you should have W-2 employees, but you're classifying them as 1099s, huge red flag. And along those lines, if the IRS finds that you've done something wrong, not in line with the code, the CPA is not the one who's going to pay the taxes and penalties. You are.
Good point.
So be very careful to know.
You have a list of others. Hopefully we'll get to post this on the Facebook page, like be careful about calling it a home office, etc.
Right.
But I want to get to the next one because you say there's some really good tax strategies in offering fringe benefits instead of salary. Talk about that.
Right, so instead of giving a traditional raise to your employees, consider giving them some sort of fringe benefit. There are certain fringe benefits that are really unique from a tax perspective because you as the business owner can take a deduction for those benefits, but the employee doesn't have to report them in their income and therefore doesn't have to pay payroll taxes.
A win-win. Another win-win, donating stock. If you donate stock instead of cash for charitable giving, it has benefits.
Right, absolutely. So the stock market is close to all-time highs right now. If philanthropy and charitable giving is part of your business strategy, something that you do on an annual basis, instead of taking cash, consider taking a highly appreciated stock, donate that stock, and you get the full market value as a deduction versus the basis or what you paid for that stock. So that's a great strategy.
Because community giving, community involvement is very important for many small businesses.
Absolutely.
And then number 6, know your number. What does that mean?
We as small business people are constantly working in our business, and oftentimes we don't take the time to step back and say, what is my long-term plan? What's my exit strategy? If you're planning to sell your company, what's the number that you need to walk away with after taxes, most importantly, and fees, to be able to retire successfully and comfortably. So that point is really just a matter of understanding how your personal and your business finances intertwine and interact and make sure that your long-term strategy is in line with your personal financial goals as well.
Again, it all comes back to, in your mind, being proactive and relying on others who can help give you professional advice and taking care of small business.
Yes.
Ann McCabe Triana, thanks for joining us, and thanks for the new, and congratulations on the new company.
Thank you so much.
And when we return, the McDonald verdict, will it change business as usual when it comes to lobbying? And what lessons we all can learn from a defense team messaging strategy that clearly failed. Stay with us.